Yeah, we were, we were certainly playing very tentative and kind of standing around, and I didn't even like our zone attack. The elbows were clogged. We were kind of trying to run a 1-4 high and shift it and move it, and just didn't do a good job. We looked a little, as I said, tentative or scared. And then, we were good enough defensively in the first bit to hang in there so it didn't get separated where we couldn't get back in it. But we turned the ball over and did look very poor. And then, it was almost obviously it just turned around where we spread the court a little more. Guys started getting aggressive, making plays on the glass. London was terrific in that stretch, and our defense, got it to where it was close. And that was about as bad as you can look, and I don't know, I want to say as good as you can look, but that was the opposite end of the spectrum for the first 10 minutes or 12 to the next 12.
Jerry, and then Tony, can you talk about the defensive strategy against Christmas?
Yeah, well, he is playing so well, and he's so dangerous, and it's what we do. That's our identity, and it's not letting him get easy catches, but when he does, we're trying to be there as quick as we could be with our post trap and make our coverage as good so that he couldn't hurt us. He'd have to either make a real nice pass or have to retreat dribble, and then we could reset our defense. And I thought that was important. You could see if we were getting beat to spots with him, if he could duck in and get it, he'd just go right over the top and score. He is talented, and he's good. I'm sad that he can't play postseason because he's really a heck of a player and a load. And then Ben and Jay was just make him earn, try to use, our length defensively on him, and everything had to be earned, just like with Cooney. Like, he hit the bank shot from 28 feet. He hit another tough one. He said, we'll live with those. We had a few breakdowns defensively, but overall it held us in there until our offense got on track.
Yeah, what's going through your mind there when you guys only have like 2 points and 14 minutes? What's being said?
Yeah, I just looked at the guys and I said, all we got is each other. We're going to have to try to figure this out. Just keep hanging defensively and don't let them get separated. And we're going to get a bucket or two and see what we can do. And we say we got to start being much more assertive, spread the court, get on the glass, do what we wanted to do. And it just, the confidence came then with a few buckets and a few more stops. But that's a tough feeling. You're just sitting there like, are we going to be able to get, 4 points, 2 points? I mean, I've been in those spots before, but that's where you just stay true. We couldn't change. We're not going to invent a new offense. You can try little things. My assistants had a lot of suggestions during that time. We got to do this, we got to do that, and I would have been the same. But I was like, here we are. We're either going to sink or swim with these guys, spread the court, and just went with the experience. And really proud of how they responded. We talk about resiliency all the time with you guys, and they did respond because that was pretty shaky. And then for them to fight through it and then play that well, I thought it was a great way for them to clinch an outright title.
Middle, then done. Tony, I think it's the best game you've had on the offensive boards in the ACC.
Yes.
Did you throw anybody forward? Was that an emphasis at all?
Absolutely, because when we played them last year, we knew at times we have some struggles offensively, so we knew an opportunity against any zone, and theirs is so good as to offensive rebounds. So it was one of the reasons why we wanted to always have 1 or 2 guys near the glass. And our best offense for a while was throwing it up there and going and getting some offensive rebounds. But Anthony having 7 and Mike Toby, and I think we had, how many as a team? I don't have a stat sheet. 16 offensive rebounds, right, 42-20. We had to get that, especially when we were struggling. And that was a key for I was going to say all day we prepared for them. We didn't have a week to prepare. We had 1 day really from our Saturday game.
Talk about the significance of an outright.
Yeah. Well, it was significant. Even to get a share of it on Saturday, but then to get it outright back-to-back years with these guys, I use the word, I keep saying it, I'm so thankful because these young men have stayed true to their identity as a team, and they really, you have to trust what we're doing, and they've done that. They've found ways, and that's remarkable to me in a very good conference with great depth. And to get it this year on the road, last year we got a share of it, and we went to, we won it last year, went to Maryland and weren't right. Well, this year I challenged them. This is really important how you play this game. It really is. Of course, to get it out right. And I thought, after we got a few buckets, they showed their mettle, and I can't say enough for the experience, but everybody, how they've come together, and it's the whole deal with the staff, and everybody's a part of this.
Yeah, just following up a little on Doug's question. Last year, obviously, there was a big celebration after you guys clinched the ACC outright championship. This year, more subdued. I guess you're on the road for
yeah.
one thing. Did you have any message to the guys afterwards, or was there some rejoicing in the locker?
That was so dramatic last year with the games, both this one even getting a share on Saturday, which was significant. I'm telling you, that was a big deal for us against Virginia Tech. And then coming here, it was establishing the quality of play. And that's what I kept saying, do we want a 1 seed? Do we want it outright? Absolutely. But I'm more concerned with, with the quality of our play. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I said it early, and that's what I repeated to them. I said, all I want you guys to do is max out. And if that means that you're not as good and don't go as far or do as well as last year's team, so be it. If that means you're better and you go further, well, we'll take that. But neither of them are important. It's you guys becoming what you can become. And that's what I see them moving towards. And that's been the message from day one. And so to be able to max out in this conference season, and now, another opportunity in a really tough environment on Saturday to keep preparing us for what's next is important.
We'll take two more.
Tony, you were stuck on 2 points for so long.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Can we move on, Jeff? I mean, you want to fly back with us, or you want to? No.
When Nolte hit that 3-pointer, all of a sudden it's 13-5.
Yeah, we're back in the game. It's a dogfight.
Was
Yes.
there a feeling like of relief or when Nolte hits that? It seemed like
No, I was actually disappointed at winning. I wanted to see if we could, go. Yeah, it was. That was big. You gotta make some shots against the zone. You gotta get some offensive rebounds. And the more you miss and the more tight you get, you just can see we were like scarecrows kind of with the ball. We were just, you could feel it, and you're kind of trying to get it going during the timeouts, but you needed a bucket. I think London got trapped in the corner in our first one and zipped it underneath. It was kind of a broken play, and we got our first bucket. Then Evan shot. I don't know how far it was. I couldn't tell. It looked like a long 3, right? But yeah, I was like, okay, whew. Are we going to set the record or not here, But then, obviously London started driving and started getting some things going, and we realized we can really get back into this. And that's hard on the opposing team. When you have such a swing, get off to this huge lead, and then all of a sudden we get back, that's a hard momentum swing to absorb from Syracuse's standpoint. And I knew that if we just keep plugging and keep making it hard on them defensively, we'll have a chance at this.
Okay, last question, Dave.
You mentioned Mike Tobey earlier, kind of as an aside, 10 points, 8 boards
Yep.
in 16 minutes. I haven't looked at the numbers from
Yep.
previous games, but his most productive game
Yep.
in quite some time. He was real good, if memory serves, against Syracuse.
You're right.
Last year, just something about the matchup?
Well, it's that idea of getting on the offensive glass that you asked about. He's real good. In a zone, you can't always block people out, and he's a real good offensive. He and Anthony are very good offensive rebounders, and Darian when he's going. So I thought he really did. He ran the floor hard, and I thought he had a very good offensive game. Solid defensively. We got to keep working on those areas, but I thought he really gave us a great lift. And I know he was probably somewhat discouraged. He didn't play as much against Virginia Tech, but he had a good practice yesterday. And, I liked what he gave us. And, that's the depth. That's a different guy at a different time. And we needed all of what he was giving us in that first half.